And that's when I started understanding that gap. Because they would just look at me and say, अच्छा आप logo design करते हो?
So we have something called as why. Why do we do what we do?
Yeah.
So my first question is, why branding?
I think I answered that earlier. It was because I realized that there was a gap in the market. And there are hundreds of graphic designers out there. Okay, today there are millions. When I started, there were hundreds and thousands. Now there are millions. You also have now so you even have your Chat GPT and you have your Canva and you have all those things. But the intelligence with which one creates the branding with their experience in understanding what big brands have done in the past. So that is something which I felt the industry needs today, especially with so many startups coming up. They need that.
You spoke about a gap between the branding and the communication. Yeah. Where do you think that you saw that gap?
When I started working in a co-working space.
Okay.
So when I was initially, before I started off as a business, I started it off as a business. I should do it as a freelancer.
Correct.
So I joined a co-working space. That was a very new norm in the city. And I started meeting people from varied, backgrounds, businesses or freelancers or even small entrepreneurs. And when I started meeting more and more people, I started going for some of these network meetings. And that's when I started understanding that gap. Because they would just look at me and say, अच्छा आप logo design करते हो? It would just come out like that.
Correct.
You know?
Which is what most people actually think branding is logo.
Yeah.
And I met very few people who said brand identity, brand communication.
Yeah.
And they're very, very important in terms of even what you're going to say. So for these companies, even when they're putting something up on social media, you do also help them in terms of even if the tagline is helping with the brand image.
Yes.
For what they are trying to create.
Yes.
And is it sometimes because they feel, यार मुझे ये line बहुत पसंद है लेकिन.
Yeah.
बस ये बिठा देते हैं.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to let them see that the difference that this might not, the line sounds great, but it doesn't work with your branding?
So you don't usually shun them off. It's not fair because it's their business, it's their baby. They've thought of something, right? What you do is you create alternatives for them, which kind of help them understand that, okay, this is good, but this is better.
Correct.
So you give them their good, what they want, but then you show them better.
Correct.
Because if I don't have a comparison, how am I to justify?
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Also, one more, continuing to your question, why, is so I do follow a lot of brands internationally. I don't know why. Somehow I feel the color tone that they use has always attracted me more because I kind of am that kind of, I'm more of a contemporary designer than, hardcore Indian designing. So when I started, looking at the kind of products they would come up with, the new companies that came up with, that's when I realized that internationally, they are very conscious. Even the small companies are very conscious about branding because it's been there in the industry for a while. Like I said, these companies who've got their branding done, I mean, the multinational ones, that time there were just handful of agencies in India. Correct. But they were all multinational ad agencies like your O&M and Lintas. These are all international companies.
Yeah, correct.
Right? Now you have like 100 Indian companies who are doing so well.
Correct.
In terms of design, brand, all of this. Now you see all these new products that come up in the come out in the market. You see the packaging, you see all of that. It's just so brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Because people have started becoming conscious. Now with the international market, I mean, we're in competition with them.
I remember Ice Pepsi become fancy.
Exactly.
We used to have it in school.
Yeah, we used to have those regular ones. Paisa. Now you have that fancy box. Now you have this
fancy packaging that came in a fancy box.
Yeah.
And
and people are okay spending that extra 20, whatever. I mean, my normal Pepsi would have costed me, say, 10 rupees. This one will cost me 20 rupees. People are okay spending that 10 rupees more.
Yeah, because the colors.
Because that is exactly
placed and
But that's how you work with the psyche, that's the consumer psyche. That's exactly what branding is all about. And that's why I say branding and marketing go hand in hand.
Correct. Exactly.
Because if your branding is strong, marketing it will become very easy.
Correct. So you have a good product.
Yes.
You have the right brand, which has the right value.
Yes.
And then when you market it, it just joins together.
Yes.
It's like a nice
Then
teamwork.
it's like all tick marks, win, win, win.
Win, win, win.